I am standing up here right now to make a very important introduction for you tonight. Many years ago, I learned a midrash that comes from Midrash Rabbi. Rabbi Alexandri said that if an ordinary person serves food to guests, for example, on broken plates, then it could be seen as an embarrassment for that person. Whereas the only vessels that the Kadosh Baruch Hu, that the Holy One uses, are the broken ones. God has no interest in perfection. God is close to the brokenhearted. Karov Adonai lenishbarei lev, it says in the book of Psalms. Marcelo Bronstein is my rabbi. And it's not only because of his deep Torah knowledge and his astonishing insights, each one of which makes you see what was right before you, but you never noticed or understood before, and now can never look at the same again. But also because Marcelo's entire rabbinate is really a lifelong plea across generations and across coasts and across continents for each of us to find and to feel God's love, even or especially when we feel most broken and feel like we least deserve it. My first Shabbat at B'nai Jeshurun, when I was just beginning my rabbinic journey, my heart was full of fear and uncertainty. And Marcelo, who's right here before us, took me by my hand, and he held me up, and he taught me that I had something to say and that I had the strength to say it. And he still holds me up, decades later. Now we're old. His voice is a voice of moral clarity, of penetrating honesty, and of unencumbered love. Marcelo and his beloved Karina now live in the Ecovia in Costa Rica, where he does therapeutic coaching online, and you would be very blessed and very lucky to have him as your coach, I can tell you. This is Marcelo's first time in 40 years not leading Yom Kippur services, and he's here with us, and we're so deeply honored to have him with us now as members of our community. And so I know it's your first Yom Kippur off in 40 years, but we would like you to come up and just share a couple of words with us, if you would, tonight. Marcelo Bronstein.
As Sharon said, I was the co-rabbi at B'nai Jeshurun in Manhattan for 22 years full-time, and then another 3 years part-time, and has been one of the most incredible privileges of my life to serve that community. Being a rabbi at BJ, how we call it, has opened many doors in my soul. Among them, to become a mentor, because we became a training congregation. So amazing young rabbis coming to be with us. And there in the year 2000, Sharon came for 2 years. This young chutzpahdik, holy chutzpahdik, with the idea that the world could be changed, and we have the power to change it. I remember that service, Sharon, very well. She was shaking. Can you believe Sharon shaking? She was shaking. And she became herself. And since then, I've been following Ikar from afar with so much pride. So I hope it's not condescending to say, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of all of you. I'm here with my wife, Karina, and we have our family, part of our family. 2 of our 5 kids are in Los Angeles. They identify with your energy, so it becomes like a normal thing to become an Ikar rabbi, that was from afar, God willing, now from close. So by becoming an Ikar member, you are witnessing something that you don't see very often. Maybe I was your mentor for a few years, but now you are my Rabbi. Another unexpected turn of events, expansions of my soul, was the reason why, really the real reason why Sharon wants me to talk. Because I became passionate about something that only a crazy person could be passionate about, which is fundraising. You're beginning to laugh. You know what is coming. And I hated it because I didn't study to be a rabbi, to be a professional schnorrer. Do you know what a schnorrer is? A beggar for the Jewish people. You know what to do. You have to give money, support the community. That's it. That's the end of the story. What's the big deal? Well, not too easy. And it took me some time to discover that fundraising was not about money. It was about dreams. So I began to share the dreams of my people. And to be dreaming about the present and about the future. And I became passionate about it. And also, I want to say, I have a confession. Vidui al chet shechatanu. I hated, don't tell anybody. I hated to raise money in Yom Kippur. Hated it. But you know why we do it? Why? Any ideas? Because you're here. Why do you want us to talk about it if you're not here? Simple. And the question that it began to percolate in my mind is, do you know when love fails? Do you know when relationships fail? Do you know when democracies fail? Any ideas? I take bits. When we take them for granted. When we take them for granted, they begin to fail. You have collectively created a place where the mind is being challenged, the spirit is elevated, and the hands stretched to hold each other. I love the name Ikar, the essence, what is important. But I'm going to invite another translation, the backbone. What is at the backbone of being a Jew? What is at the backbone of being in a democracy? And we live in times when many things that are in the backbone have been taken for granted, and they are disappearing. However, I grew up in Argentina during the dictatorship, where 30,000 people were kidnapped, tortured, killed, disappeared. I know how fascism looks, feels, and smells. And the gates of fascism have been opened here in America. I remember talking about this 40 years ago, and they told me, that could never happen here. It's beginning to happen. And this is the moment when we need a refuge and a place where we come constantly to be reminded what is at the backbone of our values, what is at the backbone of love. When we come to be members, to remember, become members remembering the backbone. You have created a community where those who are in distress find comfort, and those who are too comfortable find distress. paraphrasing Heschel. You have created in the midst of confusion a place for moral clarity, giving to the world a redemptive narrative, paraphrasing Sharon. I firmly believe that change, it's a courageous act of radical imagination. Courageous act of radical imagination. Because, as Rabbi Heschel said, we are not prophets, but we are descendants of prophets. People who could see a future for which we don't have any base in the past. And we use our imagination, remembering what is at the backbone. But we need dreamers and holy chutzpahdiks. You're full of chutzpah. I love it. You collectively have created an amazing place. Rabbis, all of you, volunteers, professionals. Melissa, you represent such an incredible core, a backbone of people also. And Hillel, where is Hillel? He left? He's in the bathroom. Somebody look for him. Okay, just tell him. He's here? Hillel! You know, I come from BJ. The bar is very high musically. I just want to say to you, wow. Wow. Thank you. So I come here with a lot of chutzpah to tell you to give money to Ikar, to give money to this dream. This is not a moment to be, soft. Because money is energy. Money is oxygen. And we together are deciding tonight how much energy, how much oxygen professionals and volunteers are going to have during this coming year. We are deciding this tonight. It's about programs, it's about salaries, it's about the lights, everything that is needed to work. I believe that giving to your spiritual home, Ikar, is an investment. The best investment that you could offer for a meaningful, profound, uplifting, energizing, relevant Jewish future. You want that? Let's do it. Give. I am asking you with a passion that comes from conviction. Be generous. Don't take it for granted. There are people, raise your hand, how many of you have gone to a potluck dinner or potluck lunch? Anybody who has been? Okay. There are a few categories of people who go to a potluck. The one who says, nah, I'm not going to bring anything, because I'm sure somebody else will bring. Scarcity in steroids. There's the one who says, okay, I'm going to bring a salad for myself, because if everybody brings a salad for themselves, we have enough for everybody. Scarcity without steroids, but scarcity. And then is the one who's generous, who's going to bring, because feels the passion, the generosity, the gratitude to offer, and brings everything that he or she has. Be that one. Offer with generosity, because this community deserves it. This professional deserves it. And also I would like to ask you to give with the gratitude that we should have to have this place to give. And while we give with this devotion, I offer all of us Shana Tova Umetuka, a year of relevance, of meaning, of purpose, of gratitude, of justice, of love, and peace. Fatima Tova.